still trying to process that wild season finale of Scandal, and now Kerry Washington is spending her summer in the driver's seat of one of this season's most anticipated summer blockbusters, Cars 3. Please welcome Kerry Washington. You are so busy these days with your TV and films, a production company, 2 kids. You've got a three-year-old Isabel, an 8-month-old Caleb.
I'm getting tired listening to you.
I'm exhausted going through this, but you once talked about what it means to be a perfect mom. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, I just really think we need to let go of that word or kind of what it means. I think for me, I've had to really let perfect be defined as what is, as opposed to somebody else's idea of what it is supposed to be, because it's supposed to be what it is. So if I'm like on a conference call with my team, covered in spit up and, you know, driving to school, whatever it is, like that's my perfect. I get to do it however I do it, right? We get to do it however we do it.
That's right. There's a famous psychologist who coined the phrase "good enough mother."
I read that.
That's right.
Right, Winnicott, I think her name is, and and I think that's what you're driving at. We put too much pressure on ourselves to be perfect, and good enough is good enough
in every area, right?
Yeah.
Like you can be. And that doesn't mean settling. That doesn't mean being mediocre, but it means saying, for me, like what's happening in the moment is perfect as it is. I don't have to criticize and beat myself up or feel like it's not enough. It's not only is it good enough, but it's great enough.
It's never going to be enough anyway.
That's right. It's great enough.
It's never you are a very politically active actress.
I am.
I mean, a lot of actors do not throw themselves in.
True.
But you have a big voice in politics.
Big mouth.
Well, she went with big voice, but
look who you're sitting with, all right? And you worked for the Obama administration and Hillary Clinton, right?
I did, yeah.
So what do you think about what's going on right now?
Oh, that's a
loaded question.
There's that. Yeah. I mean, I have to say, one distinction that's important for me to always make is that I'm not a politically active actor. I'm a politically active American. Right? Because I don't participate in my democracy because because I'm in the public eye. I participate in my democracy because that's what democracy is. We the people means that we all have to show up and participate. Our leaders only know how to lead if we show up. So one of the most tragic things for me was that half of this country didn't show up in the last election. And it's something that I try to remind myself of too when I feel like, oh, the majority of people put us in the, it's like, no, half the people didn't vote. So for me, we all have to show up. We all have to have our voice. We all have to participate. That's how our government represents us.
What about when they criticize actors? You know, that happens a lot.
It does. Well, I'm never going to give up my voice as an American because of what I do for a living. Neither should a firefighter or a teacher or a police officer. We all have to have our voices. And because I'm an artist doesn't mean I have to have any less of a voice.
Right. It's your right.
It's what art. It's
and
what
people
art
fought
is.
as a woman for me to have my voice and as a person of color for me to have my voice. I love it. And I love that we all get to have our voice.
Yeah. And another thing I love about you is that you're a Bronx girl, just like me. And your mother and I serve on the Bronx Children's Museum Board. We honored you for your activism, for your work. And the Bronx is the only borough in New York that does not have a children's museum.
I know, but because of your work and my mom's work, we're actually breaking ground on a museum this month.
So
thank you. I mean, I always joke that my mother has dedicated her entire life to making life better for children in the Bronx, not just me, but as a teacher and then training teachers to teach and now on this board.
She's amazing.
I'm just thrilled I get to be along the ride for the work you guys are doing.
See where it comes from.
Thank you.
Sense of duty.
Well, now we have to talk about one of my favorite shows, Scandal!
She channels Olivia Pope.
I know, I have my white coat and my red wine and my popcorn, and I watch every single Thursday the finale.
The 2-hour finale, which we had never had before, but you know what? Our fans kept saying, when are we gonna have a 2-hour finale? And so we did it, and it was epic and exciting.
So epic, so many bombshells. I'm ready for next season, but then Shonda Rhimes says that this is going to be the last season of Scandal.
Let her down lightly.
It is.
So what do you feel about that?
Come on.
You know, I actually, as an actor, you never know when you're gonna be out of a job. So I actually really like going into our last season with this information, because I feel like we can all really leave it all out on the table. We can make sure that our final season is our best ever and do the work to make it that way. And I feel really honored and blessed that we've had such great fans, that we've been around this long. It's hard to do 7 seasons as a television show. So I really respect Shonda's choice, and it's gonna be hard because we're such a family, not only with the cast, but with our fans. So I'm gonna miss live tweeting. But you know what? We have another year. I'm not gonna think about it yet. I'm just gonna be in this season and enjoy every second of it.
We gladiators are upset.
So there are so many scenes in Scandal over the past 6 seasons that have had a powerful effect, but there was one this season where your character talked about the price of being a female president. Let's take a look at the clip.
You're about to be the first female president of the United States. Do you have any idea how incredible that is? How impossible? They almost handed this job to a man who had been in prison over giving it to you. Why? Because a woman in power is a nasty woman. A woman who needs to be put in her place.
Oh. So that line caused a bit of a flurry out there, huh?
It did. And
nasty woman.
when we read it at the table read, you know, because we do our table reads cold, so we don't know what's in the script before we read it. And that line took my breath away. I mean, when I said it, I had to pause, because sometimes I just feel so lucky to be on a show where our writers are so courageous, and they're courageous enough to say, take a step back and look at what's happening in the world. And I invite you to have a different perspective on it. And I'm proud to be a nasty woman. I'm proud to be a woman who has a voice. You know, and that, I say that not to say that I'm a person without morals, but that I'm a woman with a voice, and a woman who steps into my power, and a woman who has an opinion, and who, you know, will fight for my rights till the end. And if that makes me nasty,
so be it.
Well, I'm also excited. A little less nasty is your new movie, Cars 3.
yes, a little less nasty.
Just a little less nasty. But you're joining this incredible and popular franchise, voicing a new character.
Yes.
It's a red sports car named Natalie Certain.
Yes.
Now, has your daughter seen it? How'd she react?
We got to see an early screening, and I went with my daughter and my mother, which was so sweet. 3 generations of women, and we all really loved it. We all really, really loved it. Yeah, it was really fun to watch it with her and sort of try to make sense of the fact that my voice was coming out of a car.
No, that's mommy. That's mommy.
So funny. It was really fun. But my mother was like, this movie's for everybody. It's just such a really heartwarming, empowering. I mean, I was like, am I really getting choked up about a bunch of cars? Like, what is happening right now?
Oh, it's like that.
It's crazy. It's really sweet.
Well, thank you so much. A big thank you to Kerry Washington. Cars 3 is in theaters on June 16th. We'll be right back.